Hey guys, Boogeyman is here. It's been quite a while since the last video was published on this channel, but I'm back with a lot of new knowledge I want to share. This video is the first out of the three in total, covering a big and very interesting topic. Today we're going to talk about Web3 as the future of internet. Do you know what the internet is? This was a surprisingly new question people asked each other back in 1994. Today, in 2024, 30 years later, this question needs no answer. We rarely spend time without socials, Google searches, and online entertainment. And after 2022, remote work, working through the internet, has become a new normal. Nowadays, most people stay plugged in 24/7. Nowadays, many devices and infrastructure surrounding us cannot fully function without the internet. Today we raise questions about the new technologies. What is blockchain? What is Metaverse? What are NFTs? And following the logic, these technologies will become a new norm soon as well. Just a few years ago, blockchain was something for geeks or nerds, and already today it's a multi-billion-dollar market and life-changing idea that may lead us to the new era of the Web3 or Web 3.0. You might have noticed that Web 1.0 and 2.0 are spelled with decimals, while Web 3 is not. There is no particular reason for this, other than expedience. While some do write Web 3.0, the Web 3 designation is just an additional indicator that things are different in the new epoch of the internet. In this video, I'm going to share everything I chanced to learn about Web 3 since the very moment I started exploring the field. I will explain what Web 3 is, why we need it, what issues Web 3 solves in fact, and what new issues it brings in return, why governments of many countries are warned about Web 3, what Web 3 projects already exist in the market, what new projects may emerge very soon, how you can make money with the new knowledge, and what we all can expect from it. If we draw an imaginary timeline and put internet evolution milestones on it, today we will be in Web 2.0. The term Web 2.0 itself was first introduced by Tim O'Reilly somewhere between 1999 and 2004, surprisingly, but when we already passed the Web 1.0 epoch. Web 1.0 is all about plain internet or read-only internet, where one could read text from a simple HTML web page and there was nothing else to do. Web 2.0 was enriched with better graphics and new services, messengers, social media, mobile, and cloud technologies. Web 2.0 allowed people not just to consume content, but create content, make businesses, and create multi-billion internet companies based on Web 2.0 virtual services. But what differentiates Web 3 from its predecessors is that it is based on decentralized technologies with blockchain at its core. The first workable prototype of the internet as we know it today came in the late 1960s with the creation of ARPANET, or the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, originally funded by the US Department of Defense. On October 29, 1969, ARPANET delivered its first message, a node-to-node communication from one computer to another. The first computer was located in a research lab at UCLA, and the second was at Stanford. Each was the size of a small house. The message was short and simple and contained just the word login, but the Stanford computer only received the first two letters, L and O. In the 1970s, Robert Kahn and Vinton Cerf developed the Transition Control Protocol and Internet Protocol, or TCP/IP, communications model standards for how data could be transmitted between multiple networks. ARPANET adopted TCP/IP on January 1, 1983, and from there, researchers began to assemble the network of networks that became the modern internet. Just in 1990, when computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, the internet gained a more recognizable form of what we know today. The term World Wide Web is often confused with internet itself. However, the web is an application built upon the internet. www actually represents a system of interconnected pages. It is a subset of means allowing to consume and transmit data over the internet through web browsers. A distinctive feature of that time was the static content rather than dynamic HTML. The websites were not really interactive, users could only read things published by others. The internet was in fact decentralized as the content came from different file systems rather than a database system. Technical limitations and high costs made the internet inaccessible to many. It was also hard to load your information and there were no modern-like tools for developers. Content on the internet was created by just a handful of enthusiasts and scientists, and it was impossible to control or protect copyrights and intellectual property. If an article appeared in Web 1.0, no one could check where it came from. This led to the need for someone to regulate and control things between the creators and the people using the content. When the new social media platforms and new internet services appeared, people were required to pass the registration process with their personal information or even a government-issued ID for verification, which obviously meant loss of anonymity. Today we invite foreigners to stay in our homes via Airbnb, and we are ready to jump into a stranger's car booked via car-sharing applications. Cheap smartphones, fast mobile internet, and a super easy way to create and share high-quality visual content have made the world stay always online and consume free content in exchange for personal time and data, which is capitalized by the big corps running today's internet. Views, likes, and comments, together with other behavioral and personal data, are constantly collected by the platforms and stored in gigantic data centers, which eventually has led to the new privacy and centralization problems. In the current system, the big companies are running the world by controlling users' choices and behavior. All the platforms providing various services are focused on attention economics. This means their activities are aimed at grabbing your attention and keeping the users there for as long as possible. From this point of view, Steam and Netflix are competitors. Which company will grab your attention tonight? The one where you can play a game or the one where you watch a series? The more attention the platform keeps, the more advertisements and recommendations it can show, and the more influence with a certain agenda the company holds over different groups of users. With the power to predict and control human behavior, mood, and preferences, it is easy to sell anything to them. One extremely good example would be the 2016 US electoral campaign involving Cambridge Analytica. The company says that its political wing combines predictive data analytics, behavioral sciences, and innovative and ad tech into one award-winning approach. They were running targeted advertisements to Facebook users depending on their personality. The company aimed to persuade users to vote a certain way by showing different advertisements on the same issue to different people. The persuasion was done by gathering information on the Facebook page's likes of users and leveraging that data to create models that predict personality. With such a system, brands are capable of making us spend money we haven't even earned yet on products we do not actually need. We see an advertisement and immediately want to make a purchase. Moreover, users are tools in this approach. After posting a comment, this comment no longer belongs to us and works for the platform, keeping users' attention and making them participate in the discussion. We feel like expressing our opinion, but it's the company that earned money from it. We share an interesting moment with our followers on Instagram, but again, it's the company that made money from it. The next problem is centralization. As already mentioned, 3-4 companies provide the major part of all servers capacity, which means all the information from all the platforms is stored in the data centers of these 4 companies. More precisely, the backend of 90% of all websites on the internet is hosted by 4 providers. It's beyond belief and might also be unsafe. Annually, companies spend about $100 billion on cybersecurity. At the same time, the damage caused by cyber attacks is expected to reach 10 to 15 billion by 2025. Besides hackers, the stored data can be easily blocked or used against people by many governments. Censorship is currently a relevant issue all around the world. Web3 is expected to lead us once again to this decentralized internet. So should we welcome slow connection and complete loss of copyrights? Of course not. We want to save all the benefits of Web 2.0 and solve user privacy issues. We don't want companies to sell our personal data. Instead, we want to decide for ourselves which advertisement we want to see, and also we would like to track the use of our own content on the web. And get paid for it, of course. Sounds crazy, right? Let's now see if it is even possible, as well as what new challenges Web3 creates. Decentralization is expected to be reached with the use of blockchain technologies. Blockchain is a distributed database or ledger that is shared among nodes of a computer network. We may describe Web3 as the next age of the internet, a decentralized and therefore open, verifiable, trustless, and permissionless age. Verifiable means that any content once published can be tracked through the blockchain, and your ownership is easily proved. A good example of ownership through the blockchain is NFTs, which we discussed already in one of our published articles, the links to which you can find in the description, and we will make a video on it shortly. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also do not forget to leave a comment and hit the like button if you like what we do. Besides provable identity, Web3 relies on open-source software built by an open community of developers. You may have more thoughts on the subject of open source in our separate topic, but the long story short, open source means source code is publicly available, so anybody can contribute to the development of the technology or verify the validity of the apps, or better to say dApps, they use. Trustless is another name of the internet of the future. You think it's because you cannot trust Web3, don't you? Well, it's vice versa. As Web3 eliminates a trusted third party for users' interactions, just like the origins of Web 1.0, but now intellectual property can be protected better than ever. All the rich agreements are stored on blockchain, and you don't need any other person or entity to make a deal with a user. And finally, permissionless. It means that both users and content makers can participate without authorization from a governing body. It's a controversial subject, since there is a different point of view saying that without the participation of a regulatory body, there won't be any global evolution of the internet. Companies and states don't like losing control and income. Nevertheless, as soon as they find a way to earn using a new business model, they will put every effort into making the internet decentralized. Exactly the same has happened already with the electric cars market. Cars with ICE, internal combustion engine, generate a stable income, but governments instead decided to support ecology and preserve natural resources. This prompted the same companies that yesterday sold cars only with ICE to make a promise to switch to electric cars as soon as possible, because they found a way to earn more within the new business model. Big tech will also find a way to benefit from decentralization and will still keep a huge share of the niche. Saying that Web3 is permissionless, which means that any content, once published, stays available as long as there is at least one node in the blockchain network on and running. Since there is no center, it means no one can delete any files from the blockchain or ban certain websites. At least this is how we expect it to be. Web 1.0 is characterized by static pages and content that came from a file system, not from a database system. Therefore, Web 1.0 was decentralized, with websites limited in their functionality and only a handful of content creators. Web 2.0 is most commonly considered where we are now and is the era of mobiles, socials, and clouds. Users have received constant access to the internet and the power to generate their own content. However, this has come at the cost of their privacy and attention. Web 2.0 transitioned to the idea of the internet as a platform. Discussions regarding the future of Web3 are still ongoing. We express our expectations based on the actual steps taken towards the development. Therefore, Web3 should solve the problem of lacking user privacy and bring more control to them. Since Web3 is not here yet, there might be contradictory opinions about it. which we'll discuss further in the next videos. Nevertheless, it's widely believed that despite some challenges, blockchain will become a fundamental technology of the Internet's future. When will Web3 arrive? No predictions here. In my personal understanding, it is a gradual process which has already started. We will discuss the existing and developing technologies, applications, and projects in our next episode. The topic of Web3 is huge, and we tried to cover all aspects in a total of 3 episodes. So 2 more videos are coming very soon. Also, you can check the already published article covering it all. The link is in the description. Subscribe, hit the like button, help to spread this information, and leave a comment if you disagree with any idea presented in this video, or you have any question. I would be happy to answer. That's it for today. See you in the next videos. Take care.